Hi everybody, so this is Joel Kennedy with Kennedy Violins. So what are some of the best beginning songs for viola? Now there's a lot of great beginning songs for viola, and there's a lot of books that you can learn. Today I'm just focusing on the Suzuki book series, so the first book of the Suzuki series. So why would I recommend the Suzuki book 1 for viola beginning songs, right? It's just that the Suzuki book series, they have some things that are really, really good about them. The songs and how they place them and everything else can make viola playing very easy and really, really fun. So here's the top 5 reasons why I think it would be a great idea for you to begin your viola journey by learning the songs in book 1. Okay, so the first reason is they give you little exercises before each song. So you might see the song and be like, well, how do I play this, right? Well, they actually give you like the little snippets, like is there a rhythm that you need? Is there a string crossing that you need? Do you need to learn particular notation? They're gonna teach it to you in these little easy little snippets. And so once you learn those little easy little snippets, then actually playing the song is pretty easy. Okay, so the second reason why I really like the Suzuki Book 1 for beginning purposes is that the songs are really gradual, right? So each song is just a little bit harder or has a little bit new technique or something else in it, but it's just a little bit. So you barely even notice that you're learning harder songs, you know, but the thing is that by the time you get to the end of the book, you actually have quite a bit of skill, you know, but they kind of sneak it up on you. And that's really nice because you're having fun, but you're learning a lot at the same time. Okay, so the third reason is that the Suzuki, the way that they notate the music is that they use fingerings and not note names. Now you will want to learn your note names eventually, that's really important. But in the beginning, if you want learning your instrument to be as easy as possible, then when they just use fingerings instead of A, B, C, D, E, F, G, F sharp, G sharp, you know, B flat, whatever. If you don't want to go through all that, you know, or maybe you already know because you're a musician, you play some other instrument, just by learning fingerings, it just makes it a lot easier in the very beginning. Now, the fourth reason that I really like the book 1 in particular is because by the time you learn all the songs in the first book, you have quite a bit of skill. So it's pretty easy, it's pretty fast, it's pretty fun, but by the end, you could probably play just about any popular song that you like, right? Maybe you want to play Taylor Swift, or maybe some country star, or rock and roll, or fiddle music, or Celtic music, or jazz, or whatever it is. You probably, you know, have the chops to be able to at least figure out how to play the music and play it. You know, maybe you can play it really well, or maybe you can play it okay, but at least you'll be able to play it. So you can play just about any type of music that you'd like, and that's great having that skill set, and you obtain that skill set, you know, pretty quickly. Okay, so the fifth and final reason is that the Suzuki books in general are extremely well supported. They've been around a long time. There's tons of examples of people playing the music online, so you'll know exactly what it sounds like. You can follow along in your book, you can listen to it online or whatever. There's also a lot of accompaniment books. So each book has a piano accompaniment. So if you have a friend that plays piano, they can play along with you. They also have duet books. So if you have a friend that plays viola, right? Or, you know, or some other instrument, they can play along with you. And those duet books are equally as easy. So if you have like a beginner buddy or whatever, they can play with you, you know? So and playing with other people, you know, when you're making music and learning, it's super fun. I mean, I remember when I used to teach like little kids and I would play a duet with them the first time, they're like, wow, I'm making real music, you know, sounds like the radio, you know, when you create harmonies and stuff, it's really cool. So anyways, it's a great series because it's so well supported. Okay, so now I'm just going to demonstrate some of the things that are in the book so you get an idea of what's in there. Oh, before I do, just remember to like and subscribe. I think statistically something like 90% of the viewers are not subscribed to the channel. I don't know why, but if you wouldn't mind just hitting that subscribe button, you know, and the little alert bell, you know, to get notifications, probably be a good idea. I make videos pretty often, so. Okay, so now on with some demonstrations. Okay, so the first song in the book 1 Suzuki series is Twinkle Twinkle, okay? And, 'cause, 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 ' We all know that song, pretty easy. Okay, but what they do is actually pretty ingenious. They actually have you play Twinkle with a whole bunch of little variations that are equally as fun. But these variations are actually teaching you little rhythmic patterns with rests and different strings and stuff like that. So you're having fun, it's pretty easy, but they're teaching you a skill for the songs that are coming up in the book. So once you get those songs, they're actually a lot easier because you don't have to learn those skills necessarily right before, you know. So for example, on page 21, they give you a series of little exercises. Okay, so there's A, B, C, D, E, okay? So the first one is just, you know, on the D string, that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay? Then the next one is just rest. Rest. Okay, pretty easy. The next one is just ride, little doggy. Or I guess it would be horse. Some people have dogs that are that big, not me. Mine is like, you know, really tiny, so. Okay, D is just triplets. Triplet, triplet. Okay, the last exercise is just 2 groups of 4, 8 notes. That's it, okay? So then they have you playing those exercises on different strings, okay? Which is good because you've got to learn to use, you know, your bow hand to learn how to play on all the different strings on your instrument, right? You got to learn how to move around it, right? But not a big deal. Okay. So then the exercises get a little bit more interesting. Then they start adding fingers, okay? So like on page 23, rest, 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 rest. Okay, then they have you do it on different strings. Rest, 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 rest. Okay, so that's pretty simple. Open, 1, 2, 3. Okay, now after a few of those exercises, you're ready to play your first song. Okay, and now your first variation. Okay, well those rhythms seem awfully familiar, okay? So here's the next variation. Okay, so pretty simple, but you're learning string crossings, fingerings, rests, bow control, right? Because you have to stop your bow every time there's a rest, and you have to start with your bow from the stopped position. Okay, pretty simple stuff, but you know, but the thing is, it's just very gradual. Okay, so they give you a series of variations, and then you get to the very last one. And there you go. Okay, now the very next song, it doesn't seem very hard at all. It just kind of incorporates all of those things, except it doesn't really have rests. It's called Lightly Row. Okay, and it goes on a little bit after that. But pretty simple, pretty easy, not exactly awe-inspiring and doesn't really get your heart pumping, right? You know, but it's pretty. Okay, but now that was only the second song, and you've learned how to play, you know, a couple different songs in a very short period of time. So now let's move into like more of the middle of the book. Okay, so now we're on song 13, and the songs have been gradually getting harder. So now we are into some, like, you know, real music. This is Bach. Okay, it's Minuet number 1. Okay, pretty cool. And then, well, the next one is Bach as well. Okay, pretty nice. I mean, that's kind of remind me of, we're kind of getting into some like Irish jig territory, or maybe some fiddle music or something, especially if you played it a lot faster. But the point is that we went from like this, and now all of a sudden we're Okay, so, you know, pretty nice. So now we'll skip to the very end of the book, which is only 17, right? So the 17th song in the book is Gavotte by Gossek. Right? And if you wanted to get fancy, right? You can add spiccato if you're working on spiccato. But my point, hopefully has been made, that by the time you get to the last song, you actually have quite a bit of skill. You can read music, you have different rhythms that you can play, you know, you can read notes, you can play legato, you can play détaché, you can play borderline spiccato to some extent. You can play a variety of different rhythms. You've learned dynamics, so you can play quietly and play loud. And so with those kinds of skill sets, now, you know, you can go online and go look at some sheet music of your, you know, whatever kind of music you like. There's a pretty good chance you're going to be able to play it. So if you guys have any questions, remember always put them in the comments, you know, contact Kennedy Violins. You know, we're always happy to answer any kind of questions you got as well. And so, yeah, that's about it for today's video. So I hope you guys have a great day.